Hello, ladies and gentlemen, it's I, Charlie, and I am back for something slightly different on this Sunday, March 15th, 2015. For those of you who follow college basketball, this is also called Bracket Sunday. For those of you who do not follow college basketball, it's 2 days before St. Patrick's Day, unless, of course, you don't celebrate St. Patrick's Day, and then it's just a regular Sunday, which kind of is depressing because tomorrow is Monday, and that means the vast majority of us will be returning to our regularly scheduled jobs. Speaking of jobs, so there was an interesting topic that came up as of late, and I do want to talk about it briefly, simply because this is kind of in the same vein of what I do for the talks of, so you finish making your indie game, you think you're done. Someone brought up the point of you should never, ever, ever quit your job when you're making an indie game. Vast majority of the time, probably 99 out of 100 times, that's probably true. Because the unfortunate thing is you are not ensured success of the product, even if it's an amazing product. That's not to say that individuals from other, industries don't fall into this hole as well. It just seems like for certain individuals, the individual who brought this up is also a heavy supporter of the independently developed games. So I can understand where the fact of the matter is a lot of people think that if they put their blood, sweat, and tears into something, it's going to be a success. And that will never happen. There is a lot more that goes into it. Now, am I saying that if you are an intelligent individual who has been working on this independently developed project, and you have been consolidating your funds for such a move, that you shouldn't attempt to make this move? But at the same time, if you have no money and you decide, well, I will find a way to live, and I'll make this game and it'll make me rich. Okay, that is a huge issue for at least me and for many other people. When it comes to an independent project, I understand there are those individuals out there who are only willing to do this because they see dollar signs, which saddens me greatly. Because independent developed projects, this is your chance to create something you want to create. Not, that I don't ever want to make this game for myself, but I know that it'll make money. Oh, yeah, sure. Okay, yeah, there are those individuals out there. And congrats to you for doing that, if that's what you want to do. I'm not going to say you should never do that. But at the same time, for me personally, if I was ever doing an independent project, I would never go that route. I want to make something or collaborate on something that I myself would enjoy. I just don't see the point of making something that as soon as I'm done, I'm done. I want to still be involved in it. I want to love what I've created and then share my love for what I've created with others. So here's the deal. If you are an independent developer and you're thinking about, man, I really need to quit my job so I can focus solely on this project, you have like 30 different steps you need to go through before you actually decide to quit your job. The first thing, of course, is financial stability. The second one is, do you have a plan? Are you just going to be like, I've got $10,000 in the bank, that'll be enough, and that's your only thought? That's probably not the smartest move. Find out how much, break it down. I know that not a lot of people want to do like all these figures and numbers and stuff, but if you're going to make this big of a jump, a risk, you have to truly understand what you're putting yourself through and your loved ones and friends around you. Because the fact of the matter is, when you cut off your source of income to create this magnum opus, this thing that has to be made. Um, you have a set amount of money, and it's only going to decrease. Of course, you could take on freelance work if you could find it, but the vast majority of the people that I know who are independent developers who decide to take the big leap into leaving everything behind and just focusing on this game or project, they don't have side projects. Um, Bills. Um, how much money can you live off of? Do you want to go out? Gas money, insurance money, groceries, money put aside for, let's say that you're an amazing programmer and your buddy is willing to work for beer and pretzels for your art, but you need a sound designer. How much is that going to cost? Can you afford that without having your 9-to-5 job that you have decided to quit? That being said, I still think there comes a time where if you're smart about it and you feel that this is the only way you can do it and you've got to take the risk, take the risk. I know that, a lot of people are going to be like, they may come out the other side and go, oh my God, what the hell was I thinking? But there's going to be that one person, that one group that, because they were willing and able and smart about it, they were able to risk it all, and they were able to at least form a foundation. I know that most independent developers, and this individual who was talking about don't ever quit your day job, the chances of you becoming an overnight success are slim to nil. It doesn't happen. It could happen, but it doesn't usually happen. There's a lot more that goes into making an amazing product. For you individuals out there who are independent developers of some sort, an author, a playwright, cinematographer, developer, you have to understand that there's a very good chance that the only feeling of satisfaction for you at the end of this road is going to be that you create a product. And another thing that you have to understand is the product that you create, the game, the movie, the song, the play, the book, is not actually 100% the product. You, the developer, the movie writer, you are a huge chunk of your product. If you try to throw something out there and then sit back and watch it and then try to distance yourself from it, of course, that's never going to happen. If you distance yourself from anything, it's not going to work. Is it possible that maybe you release something out into the wild and then forget about it and then it just takes off? Absolutely, it's possible. Is it likely? Absolutely not. Of course, the big example is Flappy Birds. But look, with all my heart and soul, if you understand the risk and you have the passion and you have the understanding that once your game is or your product is complete, that's only the start of your journey to getting that product recognized, I personally can't tell you don't quit your job. If you go in to this situation fully understanding all the risks, you got my blessing. Okay. So a lot of individuals do go that. Okay, they understand the risks. They outline everything, and then they do a Kickstarter campaign, an Indiegogo campaign, whatever campaign, a crowdfunding campaign. One of the things that is a huge turnoff to individuals who are going to be giving you money, hopefully, fingers crossed for you, is you say, Well, some of this money is going to go towards allowing us to live. I know it's an asshole thing to say, but I don't want to pay for your whatever you're going to be eating. I want to pay for the actual product that you're making. I understand that I just said that you are a huge chunk of the product. That's after your developed idea is complete. That's when you come into that's when you fully take the spotlight. Yes, of course. When you're trying to campaign, you have to be in the forefront. You've got to make people aware. The other thing is, people want to know exactly what their money's going towards, which is another reason why a lot of people are like, well, I don't want to pay for your ramen, your beer, your pretzels, your electric bill. The fact of the matter is, they want to pay for development costs only. Here's some money to help you get a music composer so that your game rocks. Here's some money to allow you to pay the licensing fee for this specific graphics engine, which, crazily enough, a lot of the graphics engines are going free, with like an added subscription, like pro version as well. So you have to outline everything, and you also, as I've stated several times before, to make it a successful campaign, you not only have to have exactly all the different levels and all that stuff, and this is how much it's going to cost to make this game, but you also have to take into consideration the stretch goals. And when you go into consideration with stretch goals, it's not, here's a bunch of fun ideas. It's, okay, here's a bunch of fun ideas, and now let's calculate. You don't have to tell people this, but behind the scenes, calculate how much time it's going to take, how much is that going to cost, the time, and then of course, resources and all that stuff. Don't stupidly start throwing stretch goal ideas there without financially figuring out first, because if you do that, you're going to end up like a Double Fine Adventure or Broken Age, where they literally barely had something between an alpha and a beta when they ran out of $3.5 million. Okay? And they were projected, they just wanted $400,000, which is a huge amount. And a lot of developers are never going to ask for that amount of money. But because they had a couple big names there, they could do that. But the fact of the matter is that even an established studio like Double Fine got over their heads when they just like, oh, let's do this cool thing, let's do this cool thing, let's do this cool thing, and they never took into consideration the financial piece of it. So please be smart about whatever decision you want to make in order to make your dream project come true. That's really what it boils down to. The vast majority, I'm just going to say it, the vast majority of us out there who are of some kind of independent project person, we're going to keep our day job. I mean, I have a day job. Zelius has a day job. Jesse has a day job. We do Alter Confusion for free. We have a Patreon campaign that we're going to revamp soon, because as I'm telling you all this, I'm going, holy crap, all of our stuff is extremely vague. And so I'll have to go back and probably break it down with some people and try to figure out if we can do some kind of like Patreon campaign for maybe like to get you swag, as well as to help Alter Confusion offset costs for conventions. In a perfect world, I would love for, Alter Confusion to gain enough money where I personally could quit my day job and I could focus solely on reviewing games, talking to developers, interviewing developers, going to conventions, giving panels at conventions, which, by the way, I mean, that's literally all we do now is when Alter Confusion goes to a convention, we're giving panels. If we go to a convention without giving panels, it's a little weird, but Zelius will be at Dragon Con. If we do a panel or not. I, unfortunately, will not be at Dragon Con if I'm not giving a panel. It's a financial thing and also a family thing. because my wife and I are expecting number 2 right after Dragon Con. So if I am not having anything to do with Dragon Con, I'm going to be home with my 9-month pregnant wife. And before anyone goes, oh my God, your wife will be 9 months pregnant, how the hell would you even want to give a panel? Okay, so Dragon Con is kind of like a big deal. And also, my wife and I have written a contract to my wife that says that if she goes into labor while I'm at Dragon Con, no matter when, could be mid-panel, could be start panel, could be, I don't know. I will drop everything. I will sprint to grab a taxi, and I will go straight to the hospital to meet my wife there. That's the plan. But yeah, independent developers of any product, just, if you're passionate enough, that's a great start. Create something. Don't quit your job day one of your project. If you feel comfortable enough right at the end of your project, or midway, I don't want to say midway, but once your project is established and you know that it's going to take this much time, but you can make it this much better, and you've got a ton of money saved, not a ton, but a good amount of money saved up, and you understand the risks, go for it, man. You only live once, okay? I understand. We live in a capitalistic society where money rules everything. But be passionate, man. Just go for it. If you're smart about it, just go for it. Okay, that is a way too long something slightly different, so I'm going to cut it right here so I can get some other stuff done. But thank you for tuning in to the Something Slightly Different. For myself, Charlie, it's been a pleasure giving you the crazy stuff that's coming out of my mind, even if it is actually awesome. Because crazy can be awesome, and awesome can be crazy. So there you go. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you in the very near future.